What's good, party people? I'm back. I don't know what movie that's from, but what's good? This is the Daily Dose Opinion. I forgot what the whole first part of it was that I usually say, but this is just giving your daily dose of opinion, I guess. Yeah, it's been a minute since I even hopped on this thing. I wanted to start it at the new year, but I was like, it might take me a little bit longer to get back in the flow of things. So shoot, might as well start now than later. No one's listening to this anyway. So shoot, let's see. I'm not gonna go through everything that's been going on in the news or in the world at this point, but yeah, Trump's been wilding. I don't even know if I stopped before Trump was elected or after he was elected. I want to say it was after. I haven't been doing this thing for a long time, but yeah, the most recent thing was the whole like I'm going to call nursing and engineering a non-professional degree, and they say the reason that he's doing that is to help the lower, not lower, like the non-millionaires essentially. Pretty much it's supposed to be like, well, the colleges know that because these are considered quote unquote professional degrees, that they can charge more because with it being deemed a professional degree, like within the government, they'll allow up to a certain amount for the loans versus non-professional degrees. So he's saying, Trump, by saying, hey, I'm going to consider this a non-professional degree, it should make it cheaper for everyone because they won't be qualified for these quote unquote loans. But the thing is with me is that a lot of times, I'm actually going to look up what name this is called. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was that. Like, a lot of times the simplest sort of route is the best and easiest route, right? So if you needed clothes for your kid to go to school, you wouldn't go to Walmart, buy, toothpaste, and then hope that that money that made toothpaste will circle itself back around to, Walmart then selling, or Walmart then sending that money out to wherever their clothes are made from, and then they go to the Indian people, and then they have a surplus of clothes, and then hopefully your kid can get clothes for free. It's like, no, the easiest thing for you to do is just to go to a store and then buy the shirt. Like doing all the roundabout ways of a lot of these things that it seems like Trump and the Republicans are MAGA. I don't even know if MAGA is technically Republican anymore, but doing all these like roundabout bullshit little things that make it so it's like, well, we're actually like the whole trickle down economics factor. Like in theory it works. Okay, give the businesses the money versus giving it to the people, and then it will trickle down to the people. It's like, yes, maybe that could work. We know it doesn't, but when you first hear about it, it's like, okay, I get the idea, but it's like, why not give the money to the people? Because understand, what are the people going to buy? They're going to buy shit from stores. Why would you? Because it's going to go back to the businesses no matter what. So why not just go give the money to the people so they can purchase what they need? The purchasing is then going to go to a store because most people don't save because we're living paycheck to paycheck. Like, I'd love to know how long it took the average American to spend the stimulus check that we got during COVID, because I don't think it took that long. Number one, a lot of people are just terrible with money. Number two, people are hurting. The fucking economy is crazy right now. Like, I make good money. My wife makes good money. We're barely making it. I can't say barely. We're living pretty nice, but it's like every week though, if there's anything that pops up that requires more than like $100 or $200 that wasn't accounted for in the finances, like, a tire, like right now I have to pretty much replace a tire. I need to replace all three, but I ain't going for it. The tire company people is losing their minds. Why is my tire $250 per fucking tire? What are they putting in there that's minus rubber? It's rubber and it's put in a mold and then you make a tire out of it. Why is that $200? Why is that $200? Let me look into that. I'm going to look into tires. Why tires are $200 something dollars. Let me write this down. Cause I'm like, ain't no Michelin or Goodwill or whatever they're called, like doing that much with some rubber and some. I don't even know if there's anything inside of a tire. It's just composite. I don't know. It's just different sizes of tire. I think I'm gonna get into this business. I'm gonna break it down. But either way, yeah, the easiest way to do it is like instead of giving the businesses money and hope it gets down to the customer, because what is a business going to do? A business is there to make money. They're going to try to hold on to their money as much as they can versus people require things. They're like, I need to feed my kids. I need to clothe my kids. I have to, daycare. And I'm only speaking about kid stuff, but even entertainment. If you were to give that stimulus check to a 22-year-old, he's going to say, hey, shoot, you know, pre-order this video game. I'm gonna get some new shoes. I'm gonna do whatever it is, right? So it's like it's going directly back to Nike, if you're trying to get shoes, GameStop or Nvidia, you know what I'm saying? It's going back to them regardless. So I don't understand why start at the top and then make itself work its way down when it already has to go through the funnel of greed with businesses and stakeholders and everything like that. So yeah, I think that this whole like all that to say, I think this whole profession thing is crazy because of the fact that if you really cared about it, you would just say we're just going to lower the loan amount. You would just say, "Hey, colleges, we're not going to do put this loan amount for that much." Cuz actually, cuz I think a lot of people don't understand. Well, and also I may not understand. I'm never going to claim that I'm the person to go to for this sort of information. But I'm gonna say that with the Ozempic guy, or not Ozempic, I forget. Let me look this man up real quick. Okay, and this is why I do this podcast. It's more for me rather than listening and becoming famous or anything like that, and making money working from home and not having to actually work and just doing a podcast for 30 minutes and then just chilling. I'm not doing it for that. I do it for the little bits of information that I get. All right. So who I was talking about was Martin Shkreli, Shkreli. I don't know how to even pronounce that. Martin Shkreli, dubbed the farmer bro who went to prison for securities fraud but became infamous for drastically raising the price of the life-saving drug Daraprim. Uh, Pretty much it was a diabetes medication. He rose it 4,000% from 1,350 to $750. So, you know, from what I heard, I thought he went to jail for the price gouging of it. But isn't price gouging is illegal though? I don't know if that's just only in terms of like a flood. Again, let me look this shit up. All right, again, I do this shit for the love of the game. What's it called? Price gouging is illegal in most states. So he raised it from $13 to $750 per pill. This diaphragm medication, pharmaceutical, whatever. So he raised it 4,000%, which is crazy. It's like I don't understand. Like if it makes me sad. I was actually talking with my wife about this the other day. I was like, I don't know if you have to be evil to become a billionaire. If you just gotta be like, I don't give a fuck about anybody or anything. You can't give a fuck about heaven. Like if I'm not a religious person, but like I at least like to hedge my bets on like if there is a heaven or a hell, I at least want to be a good person. So it's like God will look at me and be like, hey bro, I made you how you was. You was never gonna believe in me, but you still a good person. I'm fucking with you. You coming to heaven. Let me get you in my arms, big bro. And I'm be like, no problem, little bro. And then we give each other a hug and I get into heaven, even though I didn't believe in his thing because he made me like that. You know what I'm saying? If there is a God, I'm more agnostic than anything. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. The guy could be underwater. We may have heaven and hell flipped. Hell is just because that would make more sense because apparently in the Bible, hell is cold. So outer space is cold as hell. Oh, outer space is cold as hell. Oh, okay. I guess you can say hot as hell too, but whatever. And the interior of the Earth is hot, but no, outer space is cold as hell. Absolute zero type shit. So I don't know where I was going with that. What's it called? But yeah, so price gouging is illegal in most states. Going back to the whole like what's it called? The diabetes medication. Though federal law does not broadly prohibit it, the laws targeting excessive price hikes on essential goods after disasters like hurricanes or pandemics, carrying penalties from fines to jail time enforced by state attorneys general. Specifics vary by state. Like California's 10% rule, Georgia, I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, so price gouging is illegal, and they're saying that it's only during times of disasters because people need that in order to live. Now, call me crazy, but if I need a medication in order to live, that shit is pretty motherfucking important to me. So if you raise the price 4,000-fold when it was 75 cents and now it's $3 trillion, it's like, okay, like this should be illegal as fuck. I don't care if you made the pill, because that's the thing. He was saying, well, since I made it, and I don't even think he made the pill. He just owned the company or something like that. Like, I don't know. But it's like, yeah, you may have the rights to the pill, but also don't you have a public, like once you get into that field, in my mind, you have you're a public servant in some sort of capacity. You know, I don't know, because it's just crazy. But again, like, and I'm jumping all over the place. I know that for a fact, but you know, who is this person to say like I could make tons of money by pricing it fairly? There's tons of people with diabetes. What? Just eat, like just make your billions of dollars. Why move it up to 700? First of all, who the fuck is paying that? Like, I don't know if this was like a whole thing, because apparently in the insurance industry or whatever, it's like the insurance company goes to like, you know, hospital and is like, hey bro, we're only gonna pay like 50 cents or $1 for this Band-Aid, even though the hospital buys it for 20 cents. So there's still an incredible markup. But then when they sell it to regular people without insurance, they'll say that the Band-Aid is $7.50. You know, so people think that they're like the insurance company is paying that $7.50. They're not. They have lower rates than what the hospital is actually giving us, and there's more reasonable rates too. So they're not actually paying these crazy ass prices. That to say, again, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about some other shit. But yeah, end of the day, they're trying to fuck us in some way with this whole like professional degree sort of thing. I honestly think it's something to shit, let me think of something. I remember this is what I was telling my wife actually. I think it's a ploy to make it so that the degree price does drop, but the thing is that businesses are what controls America, right? So I think that the businesses want those taken off the professional list so that the price of the degree will go down, but then that means that businesses don't have to pay those quote unquote ex professional degree people. So they're going to say like, hey, well, the new people coming out, you didn't have to pay that much for you, because like your compensation is directly related to like your not experience, your studies, your education is what I mean. Your education. So it's like that's why usually if you have to go to school for longer, they'll pay you more, because they're like, we have to adjust, because they have to also, we as a business have to help them pay for the schooling, because the schooling is what gave them the education to actually do the job that we need them to do, that we make more money off of. You know, more money than we'll give them. So we have to pay them for that. So I think that they're trying to make it so that in the future, like in the next 10 or 20 years, wages will start going down, because they'll say you didn't have to take out that professional degree sort of that professional degree loan out. You know, you had to take out a little less. So that's my mindset. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want. They just want us all to kind of like die out, like give you the least amount of money, like work you as hard as fucking possible, and just hope you survive. And if you don't, they'll just replace you, burn someone else out, and then complain that no one's staying at their company. Like, we have a great culture. We love each other as a family. It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, you want me to work 50 hours in order to get this project out. Is there any way that I can, like, get a advance on my next paycheck because my daughter has, like, leukemia? They're going to look at you and say, no, Nick, what the fuck? No, fuck your daughter. We're not really a family, dummy. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know it was like that. A lot of people get really caught up in that shit. It's really sad. And I think that's what the older generations were caught up in. Like, but now, like, with younger folks, it's kind of, like, I don't know if people have heard about this, but apparently, like in Italy, like they don't work for like a month. Like if you go there in August or September or something like that, like everything is closed down. Again, shoot, let me fact check. Yeah, I was right. So Italy experiences a near shutdown during August, peaking around the Ferragosto holiday, August 15th. national parks were cities, blah blah, whatever. But yeah, because like all these back in the day, sort of like them shits where they used to ride on, them horses and they have buggies, but it wasn't a horse and buggy. They used to fight with each other and everything. I don't know what they're called, but horse and buggies or whatever. They fight and pretty much all over the whole Europe and everything like that. The old school. Like I feel like they have a better mindset on it because like their culture is so old. It's like we had the time when everyone was working, and those were the dark ages. Like that's when things started real, like was really sad, where they were plowing away and people were just upset, and so everyone realized like, oh, we can't be doing this. We can't be doing this. We got to chill. Like so, it's like, hey, you're gonna have freaking 3 months of PTO. You got 2 months of sick time, and then we're also all off for a month out of the year because we understand like we don't give a fuck about none of this. America's on the like America. Literally, That's exactly what it is. The older countries literally like act like older people, where they're like, hey, like I don't know what the fuck y'all is doing, but I know for a fact I'm going fishing on Saturday. Like, or if y'all need me on Friday, I'm going fishing. So you're gonna have to figure it out. Versus younger folks that are go getters like America, or literally like just a younger person, like early 20s, trying to make their way into their career. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there on Friday. Yeah, I had like some shit to do before, but I'll put that off to the side. I can do that later. That's not obviously everybody, but that's a younger person that's serious about their career. So they'll put their best foot forward in hopes that they do better. And I think that's what America's doing right now. We're working our tail off. We're, getting paid for 40 hours and working 50, 55 hours, less money because we're hoping that at the end of the day we're going to be on top. But I think as time goes on, we get worn down. We see that there's better things than material possessions. We see that enjoying life isn't about the materials, it's going to be about the experiences and the people around you type shit. So I don't know. We'll see how long this shit lasts. And if it doesn't last, then it doesn't last. But who cares? We're all gonna die anyway. Maybe not. With AI coming up, honestly, we might not die. Like for real. Like in the next, literally, it could be in the next 2 months or whatever. AI is like, oh yeah, we found the gene that ages you. If you just give us $4 trillion, Nvidia is like, yo, you give us $4 trillion, and then like get a doctor or some shit. We'll just take out the gene that ages you and just live forever. You're straight. AI figured it out, and I don't know. I figured AI is gonna just take over the world because I saw. Hold on. I saw on Instagram like the AI of Peru. Hold on. Let me get this country right. But pretty much this country put in a woman that's an AI. Oh yeah, I saved it. Cool. Right here. Albania. Albania's AI minister got busted taking a bribe. She decided to make some extra cash in crypto. So apparently, let me see. Let me see if they got the whole story. Albania's AI minister got caught. The neural network official was detained after investors found she had been skimming 10 to 15% of government contracts and sending the money to an unknown wallet, claiming it was all based on the 30 years of procurement stats. By the time it was shut down, the stash had grown to about 14 BTC. So that BTC is Bitcoin. What is that? What is Bitcoin even that? Shoot, I think I could just look that up on Cash App. Cash App. I didn't realize, but people said Cash App was actually like a black person thing. I had no clue. Um, I guess everyone just uses Zelle. I don't know, but goddamn, I need to go on Weibo. Actually, I can just go on Google. 1 second. Guess I don't really need to tell y'all when I'm hanging up or whatever. But yeah, it's $92,000 right now. So what did we say that she had? It was 14. So yeah, we can assume that it's about $1.4 million is what she had hiding out there. So yeah, I don't know. Like, why even have? I don't know. Like, do we know if AI is not? If AI is just cool? Like, do we know if AI is like cool to chill with? Cool to like not kill us in our sleep and everything if possible? Like, I just really don't understand how like why you would even do that in the first place. But It's away from me. If I was Albania, I would wait on it till we understood what was going on and made sure the AI was like foolproof. But whatever, doesn't I don't. They must have not. There must be some ain't ass shit. A lot of ain't ass shit people in Albania. I'll say that for them to go for AI instead of like another president, or the president is like extremely corrupted and he knows what he's trying to do. And I don't know. I could see Trump doing some shit like that. Just being like, nah, actually, we're gonna run a Trump AI for the next president of the United States. I don't even want to put that out there, but we'll see. Um, let's see. Shoot, didn't I have something else? Didn't I have something else? Yeah. Woman files for divorce after ChatGPT analyzed her husband's coffee and suggested he was cheating. Actually, no, I don't even care about that one. There was a post that I saw recently. It was a woman. She was taking a picture of this girl. This girl was kneeling by her car, and there was two cows out in front of the car. First of all, I don't know if cows, and they look like regular dairy cows. I assume that they're girls because a bull is a male cow. I think I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that guys can't make milk. I think it's like the human shit. But yeah, it's insane to me because like the caption on the again, one girl's just like kneeling on the ground, and then there are these two cows coming over next to her, and she's kind of like beckoning them and trying to be sweet. It looks like it's just a picture, so I don't know what's going on. But the caption is, I've seen a lot of cows recently go towards white people because of what's going on today in today's climate, and they know that white people are the ones to save them. And then the comment after that, like it was a I don't know double post off Twitter or whatever, and then it was like there's a lot of undiagnosed schizophrenia in America, and I'm like, yes, bro, like people don't understand how many fucking crazy people there are out there. Like I I haven't seen like insane crazy, but I've seen enough crazy within my life that it doesn't appeal to me. But there's a lot of people that are um attracted to crazy. They think it's like quirky or something. So, I guess just to stay on the point. So that that entire it could the meme that I just explained, it could just be a crazy person or it could be a person that genuinely is just dumb as fuck. Because why would you assume that cows know that, number one? And number two, it seems like white people probably own the majority of like farms and shit, like because black people don't usually go to places where there's not any infrastructure. Most black people live in cities. That's literally it. Most black people live in near or around cities, and white people are spread out. But again, with the whole farm thing, like most farmers or people that own farms at least are white. Why would you think that cows are looking at people being like, y'all are the ones that save us when you're. That doesn't make any sense. Number one, so you could just be stupid, but then also, too, thinking that cows understand the nature, like the climate of America, they can conceptualize what the fuck a country is, and then they're going over to people of certain skin tones because they're thinking that you're going to be our saviors. Like that doesn't make like that's crazy and then also stupid. So I don't know which one it is, but yeah, like shit like that it does prove the point to me. Not prove, but it just helps me know that I'm not wrong in the fact of like there's a ton of crazy people out there. Like y'all, please be safe. And you also might be one of the crazy people because most of the time we only diagnose someone when it's a problem to them or other people, right? But there's a lot of people out there that are, you cut them off in traffic, they're willing to shoot you. They get so fucking upset at that, like not being adults, and they're just willing to shoot you. Because I realized very recently that one of the most important things as a person, and this isn't really spoken about in masculinity, and I know it's not spoken about in black culture for the majority of the time. I know in my experience, most of my people that I grew up with were kind of like, don't let anyone talk to you outside of your name type of stuff. And if they do, that means you got to make sure that they understand how serious you are about it, which usually means putting hands on people. But, and again, I didn't put hands on nobody. I'm just saying I realized this and that things can get sour real quick, very quickly. So, like, if you're a person that's listening, I would say this to you. Don't ever let anyone get you outside of your feelings. Don't, because it gives them power over you. They can then dictate the rest of your life. Like, if you allow someone, if you're going to say, hey, if you talk to me in this way, I'm going to have to do this to you. That means if that person talks in that way and you do something to them, they can then call the police and get you in a fucked up situation. So that's one thing. I think as a man, you should never let anyone be able to control you. And yeah, I say as a man, but even as a woman, don't let people control you or control the outcome of your life based on their actions. Because actually when I was coming up, like maybe 23, 24, I was thinking like, because there was something that happened. I want to say there was a girl. I think it was like a girl getting beat up on the subway in New York, and then no one came to help her or whatever, right? And in the comments, all the girls are kind of like, "Yo, it's sad that there's so many men over there, and they didn't help this poor girl." Now I understand you shouldn't just be assaulting people in public, but also like it's also sad because if a man were to step in and he gets shot or he gets murdered because the assaulter, if you're assaulting people, that means that you're probably a very aggressive person. You might be a crazy person. If you're just beating people up in public, like you're probably a crazy person. And so, he might say, "Hey, I'm willing to beat up people that are smaller than me and people that's bigger than me. I'm going to fucking shoot you because I'm not taking any L's." That's a person that should be locked up. And the reason they get locked up is because they do crazy shit like that. So someone got to die for him to get locked up, it seems like. So if a man were to get up and say like, "Hey, stop beating on this woman," and he shoots him, now let's think. And if a girl's listening, like, a lot of people are going to be shaking their head saying, "Yep, that's what should happen." Da da da. Now let's think if that was your dad, or let's say if that was your husband, right? That was your husband. Y'all have a house together, and now your kids are growing up without a father. Now you're having to deal with however many kids you have alone. Now you have to find someone else to spend your life with. Now you got to figure out how you're going to get that second income in since everything's so fucking crazy in the economy, right? So it's like it goes deeper than protecting somebody. Sometimes you got to look out for yourself, right? And I'm not saying this to say like don't help people. Yes, of course help people if you can. Don't just turn a blind eye. But sometimes the situation at hand is more dangerous for you than the person that's in it right now. That's just that's just me. And again, there's gonna be some people that says, "Oh, you're a coward. If he pulls out a gun, then I'm gonna shoot him first." And it's like, well, that might put you in trouble too, because a lot of people like to call like, "Hey, this is self-defense," but sometimes you can get fucked up. Like I know in school when I was in elementary and middle school, they were saying if you were ever getting beaten up, you need to just go into a circle, like put yourself in a ball until they're done beating you up. And if you were to retaliate, you would get in trouble in the school system. So, obviously in school it's like if it's my kid, I'm like, fuck that. Like I don't give a fuck if you get in trouble for the school system. Fuck them. If someone's attacking you, obviously protect yourself. You're good to go in my book. And if the school system got some bullshit to say about it, then I'm gonna sue them. I'm gonna figure some shit out because fuck that. But in the real world, like where you're grown and then let's say somebody's hitting a girl and you go over there and y'all get into a fist fight and you knock him out or he gets brain damage or some shit, that could be literal years of bullshit that you now have to deal with because maybe you slam his head against the concrete. Now he's disabled. You gotta pay for his medical treatment. And then the jury might even look at it and be like, "That was none of your business. I don't know why you was even in this conversation with this person. Why you got in the middle of their spat." They fight all the time. You were the only thing that caused extra harm, So I don't know. It's just an interesting world out there, folks. And I feel for a lot of like people that are in circumstances that is completely out of their control. I feel for y'all. I'm not in that. I'm in a happy place right now, but I feel for y'all because one mistake can really fuck up your entire life and nobody cares. Nobody cares about it. I'll tell you one thing though. I care. Don't be stupid. Stay safe. I love y'all. Keep it easy.